Rematch. No one's talking about it. Different era, different weight class, different rule set. Same athletes. Amanda Loewen. Put all rule sets and all organizations aside, fully focused on the unified rules. Amanda pulls a guard, but then uses it to off-balance Raquel. It worked for a moment. So that was a very sly tactic that Amanda went for there. Amanda Loewen, years ago, set everything aside to fully focus on the unified rules and became queen. But she knew within her heart there is a girl out there that I owe a match to. She is now in the ring with that very girl. Raquel Canuto. Raquel on top. Showing a level of flexibility. Raquel fighting the hands here. Amanda likes where she's at. She's got Raquel pinned up against the cage, if she uses this correctly. Two ways to look at it, but it's all within your skill set. Did the cage just get in our way, or are we using the cage? Some real flexibility here by Raquel. You guys ever watch this stuff and you're like me and you start grimacing? Because you're thinking of your own body. You go, oh, yeah, my leg, ugh. Got to tell you, I'm feeling a little bit of that right now. Raquel's got her heels over her toe, pulled into her chest with the champion of the world on top of her. I mean, right? It's very hard to look at that and I go, ugh. Ugh. Okay, now this is interesting. Anytime you go for a foot or a heel, you are giving the opportunity to your opponent. So Amanda's starting to think feet and heel as they're playing footsies here, and Raquel says, well, let me just grab your foot. And how about we make an agreement that we just trade the position? There's a lot of technique going on here with Raquel, guys. Focus on her right heel. I'm going to have to save that thought because the position has changed. Raquel now on top. Now this is another one of those positions. If Amanda gets her back on the cage and it's her back, then all of a sudden the cage is in her advantage. If her head is against the cage is now in her way. Raquel comes on top. Notice this left leg of Raquel. There's a lot of technique here. She's trying to push down on Amanda's knee, but so much pressure that her own foot popped out. She was looking to push that down to try to advance this position. Raquel's coming to an armbar on the champion. What a shock this would be. Raquel's legs are in the right spot. Amanda's letting go. That's risky. Raquel's not taking it. She's looking for it. Amanda's pulling her elbow back down. Okay, Amanda returns to the lock. That's a safe position. When the champion's hands are locked, she's going to be okay, at least for this particular submission. There is a technique known as a reverse triangle. It's rarely used, but there is an opportunity. There is a very big opportunity. Raquel's going to have to change the position. She's going to have to sit up. Well, as I say it, she's starting to do it there. Okay, this is the problem. This is a reverse triangle. This is a big problem. Amanda pops her head out, goes into scramble mode. We got just under 90 seconds left in regulation. Raquel Canuto on top of the champion. She has a knee ride. She's thinking head and arm choke.
1 minute.
If Amanda's head is on the cage is now in her way. If her back is on the cage, she is now using the cage. I share that with you because the champion has been very comfortable here. We have never seen anybody control Amanda like this before. It means nothing. I'm not looking to be the Grinch, guys. The rule, it means nothing. Good enough is not good enough. You get the job done or you don't. And there is parts of me that believe Amanda Loewen is being reserved. I believe Amanda felt a little overwhelmed in position, but realized it's your energy versus mine, and we have no points apiece. I believe that Amanda, roughly 2 minutes ago, changed strategy from finishing in regulation to surviving in overtime. That's my belief. Flip of the coin by the great Dave Hagen. Finest ref in the business, and it goes to Raquel. Raquel did not defer. She chose to take the back of Amanda Loewen. I'm looking at Raquel's breathing. I'm looking at Amanda's breathing. I'm seeing no change. These are two very well-conditioned combatants. Amanda is making sure she gets what is coming to her, which is an arm inside. Raquel does not have a body triangle. She's got one hook in and one behind. She's turned the face, though. She's turned Amanda's face. This turns into a crank. Now, Amanda has a couple of options when the hand starts to beat her. Talking about the hand of Raquel. Do I let her come under my chin, which is no pain but will force me to tap, or do I let her have my chin, which is going to be a whole bunch of pain, but if I can take it, I can breathe? She elected the latter. That was a crushing pain to the champion's face and neck. She dealt with it. That's a reason she's a champion. 40 seconds has ticked off the clock in our first overtime period. Amanda Loewen looks to me as though she is in survival mode of this period. The time will also matter. She's got to play 2 games at once. Easy for me to talk about, hard to do as an athlete, and I feel as though Amanda is only playing 1 game. She's playing the game of not surrendering. Time is ticking off the clock. That could matter later, and Amanda is going to need a big movement here. Canuto, shockingly disciplined with her energy. Shockingly composed with her nerves for only her 2nd time in Submission Underground. If you're in Raquel's spot, you're asking yourself a question. Do I keep the body triangle or do I transition and come on top? All right, with 6 seconds to go, the champ gets out. The champ has very clear marching orders. Tap this young lady out and go home with my belt. She has 2 minutes. If that doesn't happen, she will have to go to the next strategy. We're live. Amanda Loewen, the undefeated Submission Underground queen, has elected to go to armbar. She's in a spider web position. Raquel turning into her keeps that tight. I will tell you, Amanda often favors the armbar. It's not every time, but it's most of the time, and particularly as of late. She's very good and she's very strong in these positions. She also has a rare and innate ability to maintain control, which is tough. I'm personalized. Maybe it's just tough for me, but holding on to an armbar for periods of time is difficult to do. And it's one of the factors that you're going to be judged on. It takes a big risk. Amanda goes around. She clears the position. She's right back where she started. That's good for Amanda. Around and around they go. But Canuto did not gain anything. This is the same spot they started in. Amanda's going to need separation. Notice how Raquel is turning in. Okay, around they go. They're coming back. Raquel's looking to step over. She can step over. She can essentially stretch Amanda out, thus getting her own arm back. If Raquel was to bring that left leg over and have both her knees on this side, the side that you're looking at of Amanda, it would free the position. Raquel's not doing that. She's brought one. See that left leg? If she was to bring that left leg over. Now, the only reason an athlete would not do that is if their head is in the wrong spot and it could then submit them. Your head and neck must cooperate with the rest of your body. I'm imagining that Raquel's head and neck are trapped. Otherwise, she would step over. I heard the clacker, which I believe comes with 10 seconds left. We're winding down here. Okay. Real easy math. There was 6 seconds on the board when the champion escaped. The champion is ahead by 6 seconds. That gets erased real quickly, and it may not sound like much. But if it comes down to it, 1 second will do.
Go!
Change of frames, but the same position by Raquel. Canuto on the back. Amanda on defense. Look at Amanda's defense. Could you guys imagine how difficult this would be to have a trained killer on top of you trying to choke you? You give them the position. Amanda looks like, you hand Amanda a remote control, she'll turn the television while watching her favorite program. She's so comfortable here. Look at her. She knows right where she is. They do not just hand this championship to anybody. She knows right where she is. She knows she's stuck. She knows her hips are stuck. Okay, fine. But I'm going to keep breathing, and I am not going to surrender. That is what the champion is thinking, and so far it is working. If Amanda can keep sneaking out to her left, with Amanda to the left, with Amanda off to the side, and she needs to continue to move to her left, it's very difficult for Raquel to finish. The arm is no longer involved, by example. Rotating this position and coming out to the side to a head and arm choke, Austin Vanderford style, it just becomes a little bit more difficult. And as each second goes by, if Amanda just gets a little millimeter and a little centimeter and a little half inch more and more to her left, she's going to escape this position. Moreover, she's up by 6 seconds. Priority 1 right now is do not submit, but Amanda is getting close to escaping. The closer her shoulders get to the mat, the closer she gets to pinning herself right now, by example. The referee is giving this a look. She's going to need a little more, but the referee is now taking look. Looks like Raquel is going to be able to hold on here, which still, simple math, gives us a separation of 6 seconds, favoring the queen. I noticed the poise of Raquel Canuto. For only her second time. It is stunning where she's at. By the way, I offered Chris Cyborg the winner. Chris Cyborg said I would love to do it. I cannot commit. Could I put in my friend, Gabby Garcia? That's true. Everything I'm just said. I do not have an update for you beyond that. Chris Cyborg offered, and I don't know that Gabby is her student. I believe Gabby is her friend. We will see where that goes. But who wouldn't look forward to that? First things first. Our champion has an armbar. Our champion has 6 seconds advantage time. According to Chael, so always check your source. But the champion does not have to finish. She does have to hold on. There is a lot on the line in this position. This very position right now could determine the fate of this match, of the division, of the sport. And when you have the attention of Chris Cyborg, I think you need to know all you need to know about how respected this championship is amongst fellow competitors. Raquel is stuck, guys. Raquel just has nowhere to go. I know that looked like a lull in action. Raquel was looking for a release and pressure by Amanda in the form of Amanda's knees. Amanda's knees and strength and lactic acid held up Amanda pinched her and held her. That, and it's going to have to play out. We're at the top of the third. One more time to bat apiece. That last stanza could come back to prove the changer. Look at this. Look at the face. She's caught in a face crank right here. This hurts very badly. This is pressure on the jaw. Notice that bone. Reach down, guys. Reach down and feel your own wrist. Feel that bone right underneath your thumb. That bone is going into Amanda's nose, into Amanda's cheek, into Amanda's teeth. Amanda is showing nothing, like it's not even happening. Amanda looks as though her eyes are closed. She knows where she is. She can do this with her eyes closed, guys. Look at the champion's eyes. Her eyes are closed. This is all feel. You've seen this in your favorite martial arts movie growing up. This is happening in front of you. The champion has closed her eyes. She is going off of feel. She has spent her adult life in this position. She is not worried about the hips right now. She has a 6-second lead and she knows it. Full focus is on protecting her neck. This is awesome. I got to tell you, the champion has closed her. Raquel is coming over. Notice what Raquel's doing. Raquel is trying to cover the nose and the mouth with her hand. That is very legal. That is very tactical. It is designed to get a reaction. Not only could it submit you, it will get a reaction. The champ is giving her neither. The champ is not moving, and the champ is not submitting. Raquel is getting frustrated a little bit. I mean that in a positive way. She is showing a sign of urgency. She should. Raquel Canuto is look at this. She's covering. She's covering the mouth and nose. It's a last resort. It's legal and it's effective. The champion does not care and is going to take an arm bar again. If you are the Gabby Garcias, the Chris Cyborg, if you are next, the Misha Tates of the world, you're watching the champion, you're noticing. She favors the arm. She favors the left arm. You're taking notes. You're storing things away. You want to talk about the great. You want to talk about the biggest star in the sport. The one that moves the needle like nobody else, Craig Jones. Over time, you could begin to plan for him. Over time, you had enough footage. Over time, you were wise enough to order his technique tapes. Over time, you could begin to understand what he's doing. Amanda has intricacies within this arm. This is a big deal, guys. There's 1 minute and 5 seconds, and she's only got a 6-second advantage. Notice how Amanda is having to slow the action down, but if it speeds up, that's where mistakes happen. Raquel Canuto won the first outing. Amanda needs to hold on here. This is not where she wants her legs. She'll settle in for it. She does not want her legs here. She wants her leg over Raquel's head. She lost the position. The champion lost the position that she wanted. She's now holding on. I am telling you this because the champion is showing nothing. She has a poker face. There is no expression. The champion has got a problem right now. That is not where she wants her legs. We are inside 20 seconds of the queen keeping the crown. We are inside 7 seconds of the queen keeping the crown. She is not where she wants to be. Raquel needs an explosive movement. She needs to pull that elbow out. Amanda Loewen has held on. And I mean that literally. She had to hold on. If you can't get what you want, you take the next best thing. Amanda wanted to have the bend of her knee secured over her opponent's face. She lost it. She froze the position. I am so impressed right now, and I know you are, Kevin Keeney.
Ladies and gentlemen, your winner, due to escaping in the least amount of total time in the overtime rounds, and still SUG Women's Absolute Champion of the World,